Yo, it's Edwrld 369. Came to tell my vision once again. And today, I just wanted to make a video. I feel like it's a special day. Like a good day to just do everything that I want to do in my life. Because, I'm just going to do like a little story time. Just talk a little bit, Because lately, I kind of been thinking like, damn, like nobody really, like you can say when, like lately I've been like seeing like people that are like spiritual. And like when I mean, I'm spiritual too, you could say. But, when I see people and they're like spiritual, and they like, you can say they're always peaceful, thankful, blah, blah. They try to keep that image, they're being peaceful all the time. And then, you could say that it's like, you could say people, when you look at it, it's kind of like cringe. It's not like, cringe, like, it's just like weird, like just seeing someone like, oh, we're all one, like peace and just being happy and calm all the time. I feel like that's not life either. I feel like I learned that as well, just going through that, being one of those people that are just like, yeah, we're all one, peace, no problems, I don't want no, you know what I'm saying? But I've realized that's not really the goal in life, you could say, because I've been like, like I've been trying to make videos about like, like spiritual things that like, oh yeah, my third eye, or like my visions that I be having, like things like that, like weird things that people are like, ooh, like what the heck, what are you talking about? Or like, oh, we should all come together and be like one and work as a team and shit. And I mean, even when I look at people talk about things like that, it's kind of like weird. So lately, I mean, it's been kind of hard for me to make videos, because I've been trying to make them like positive, I've been trying to make them like trying to help someone, trying to put out the wisdom or whatever I've learned. But I've also learned just like, you could say that there's things that I do, that people would like to have. I feel like it's everybody. We all have like traits and like, abilities or whatever you say. But, I just didn't want to be like faking it, just coming on here and it's not living what I speak. And I mean, throughout my journey, I feel like it's a whole lot of work. It's a whole lot of like just seeing yourself and just trying to accept yourself for who you really are. Because I feel like there's so many times that there's like an expectation that I have for myself. I want to be this certain person. And then when I don't reach that, I feel like I come to like I'm like down, I'm like sad, I'm depressed because I can't get up to that expectation. But you could say I don't have to reach any expectation, or I don't have to be any certain type of way, as long as I'm just being myself, it's like learning, like, I mean, I guess, I'm not perfect, obviously, and, what's it called, yeah, like, I haven't really just been making videos just because of that same reason, just because I feel like a lot of people don't really like I mean, you could say like times are changing now. Like before, I mean, like in 2020, I feel like people were super, like the people that were getting into it, like spirituality in like 2020, I feel like they were like, those were like the starting people, you could say, like the front line, you know? Because I feel like there's like, you know how there's levels? Yeah, so in that time, you know, I feel like being super spiritual, that's when it was like kind of cool, you know? Like, oh, like, how do you like do all that? And then now, like, as time, you know, develops, you know, I guess like it's like starting to be cool. It started to be cool to be spiritual, you know? So everybody started like jumping on that train, you know? Everybody got spiritual. I mean, not everybody, but people wanted to be, you know? So they kept like, oh, like peace, you know? They started like, you could say, putting on a front for everybody, you know? And you could say that once it started not to be so authentic, you know, just because you could say people wanted to do it just to be cool, you know, they weren't really going within and finding peace and becoming that peaceful person, you know. People were just like, oh, like, oh, that's what people are on. Like, that's what's cool. That's what people like, you know. They started jumping on that train, you know. And then you could say that the people there started like jumping on the train, starting to like act like all spiritual and stuff, you know. I feel like they like messed it up in a way. Like they like made it so it's not cool anymore. I mean, well, it wasn't really like. I mean, you could say what was cool, you know. But, you know, I mean, just to have morals and just to live, you know, it's just like, yeah. So I just wanted to make a video today, you know, because you know there's a full moon, I guess, you know. I felt it this morning. Woke up super early. I was like, what the fuck? Why am I up 3 in the morning? You know, I wake up, look at YouTube, and it's talking about, oh, full moon, the 19th. And I'm like, damn it, today's the 19th, and blah, blah, blah. You know, I get to work, not feeling it at all. I just want to leave, you know. And then the whole, like, when I was working, I was like there for like 2 hours, 3 hours. But while I was there, I was like, why does today feel so important? Like, today feels like an important day, you know? Like, something's gonna happen, type thing. And even in the, like, I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go home and make a video, blah, blah, blah. And I feel like those thoughts don't always come into my head, you know? They're just like, I felt motivated, you know? I felt like I wanted to do something with my, you know, with the energy that I have, like, the think that's, it's coming up, it's coming at me, you know? So like, whatever, you know, might as well just flow, go with it, see what happens, you know? And I guess I did. Here I am making a video. And kinda really had nothing to say. But I wanted to talk about how, like, my journey. It's my journey, you know? Like, how many people are waiting for what I have to say, you could say. Or, you know, like I feel like there's someone out there just waiting to hear the words that are just gonna come out of my mouth, you know? And, you know, it makes me think like, damn, like, I mean, you can't say they were expecting me because they didn't know that I was gonna be there, you know. But when I do speak out, when I do these things, like, I feel like I don't really realize how many people it affects, or even if it does affect anybody, I don't really know, you know. But I choose to think, or choose to know, or choose to have the idea that every time I do come out here and speak on my channel, my YouTube channel, Edwrld 369, you know, every time I do come and speak, I feel like I'm contributing to the world, you know, or, I mean, even if it's just one person, you know, even if it's just myself, me talking to myself right here, right now, you know, feel like I'm still doing something, you know. And it kind of takes me takes me some time to realize, to get my things back together, you know. But the one thing that is happening, that every single time I'm growing, I'm leveling up. Like every time I come back on these videos, I feel like I'm not the same person as I was like the last video. Or like when I even look back on my videos, it's like not really like I like at the end of the day, I feel like I'm making them for myself, you know, like they were just like videos that I was making how I would feel, like my emotional mindset or however I was feeling in that moment, you know. Like when I would have like problems, family problems, or with my sister, with my mom, when I would argue with my mom, and then I would realize I would like connect the dots, you could say. Look back, connect the dots, try to understand the situation, and then explain it basically. And that's basically what I'm doing now. Like, I'm just like, yeah, I went through all that. Now I'm just like basically explaining. And yeah, I'm here, doing what I'm supposed to do. I guess, you know, just here, following my intuition, my instinct, whatever, and you know, blah blah blah. But yeah, man, life is kind of weird lately. You know, I feel like it's not really important to. I mean, you could say it is important to just spread the news, to give out information, you know. But you know, I feel like you don't have to force it. You know, you don't have to make it something that's like. I mean, because yeah, like things are changing. You know, we're adapting. You know, people are understanding differently. You know, the way that the world is, it's just different, bro. People just. I mean, shit. I don't know if that's making me become someone that I'm not. You know, but at the same time, I feel like I don't like that extra stuff. It doesn't really affect me either, you know. Like it doesn't really make me. I mean, it does, you know, because I didn't really make videos just because I felt kind of cringe. I'm like, oh, like I'm talking about spiritual shit, and people aren't really about that no more. People don't really care about that, you know. But at the same time, a lot of people do, and blah blah blah. So I'm just like, kind of don't really know what to do. But at the end of the day, I'm just gonna do what feels right, you know. And yeah, guys, this is Edwrld 369. Came to tell my vision once again, and we out. Peace.